Assalamualaikum, hello everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. I will try to wrap some video of motivational speech. The topic of this speech is about mathematics. The title is Math Isn't Hard, It's a Language. So, keep on watching. 26%. On the nation report part, the percentage you below for 12th grader for the subtraction in math. In America, we had everything as an exceptional country. But the 26% sounds exceptional to you? Raise your hand if you think as the country, we need to do way better than that. I'm with you. We all need math. For why are so many kids confused by it? It is because only 26% of people are hardwired from that. Love 70% are not. After working with thousands of kids, I can tell you this is the case at all. Kids don't understand math because we've been teaching it at the humanized subject. But if we make math human again, it would start make sense again. You're probably wondering, how is math in every human in the first place? So think about it. Math is a human language, just like English, Spanish, and Chinese, because it allows people to communicate with each other. Even in ancient time, people need the language of math to conduct trade, to build a monument, and to measure the land of farming. This idea of math the language isn't exactly new. A great philosopher once said, "The laws of nature are written in the language of mathematics." So you see, even Galileo agreed, isn't it? But somewhere along the line, we're taking the language of math, we're about the real world around us, and we abstract that beyond this recognition. And that's why kids they get confused. Let me show you what is math. We'll see this third grade, California math standard, and people make sense when 8-year-old. Understand the fraction 1/b as the quantity formed by one part when a whole is partitioned into b equal parts. Understand a fraction a/b as the quantity formed by a part of side 1/b. And if you give this description to an 8-year, you probably get a reaction like this. To a math expert, this standard makes sense. But to a kid, it's an absolute torture. I tell this example specifically because the fractions are the foundational to algebra, trigonometry, and even calculus. So kids don't understand fraction in the elementary middle school because it's halfway to hit them in high school. But there's a way to make subtraction simple and easy for kids to understand. Yes, just remember that math is a language and use that to fear damage. For example, when I teach first grader how to add the subtraction, I start with the apple plus lesson. For says, 1 apple plus 1 apple, and people often say 2 with the partly correct. Half them include the word as well as with the math of the language, but not just 2, it's 2 apples. Next is 3 pencils plus 2 pencils. You all know that pencils plus pencils is pencil, so everyone, how many pencils? 5 pencils is right, and the key is you include the word. I try to submit with my 5-year-old niece in month. After she's added pencil and pencils, I asked her what 4 billion plus 1 billion. And my aunt overheard and the citizen called me and said, "Are you crazy? She's been kindergarten. How is she supposed to know 4 billion plus 1 billion? I'm done it. My niece finishes counting, looks up and says, 5 billion? And I say, "That's right, it is 5 billion. My aunt stood ahead on that because she didn't expect that from the 5-year. But all you have to do is to take a language approach, and math becomes intuitive and easy to understand. Then I asked her a question the kindergartner definitely not supposed to know. 1/3 plus 1/3. And she immediately answered, 2/3. Such as you are wondering, How can she possibly know that when she doesn't know about the numerator and denominator yet? You see, she wasn't thinking about numerator and denominator. She solved the problem this way. And she used 1 apple plus 1 apple as her analogy to understand 1/3 plus 1/3. So even a kindergarten can add subtraction? You better believe that every third grader can do it as well. Just for fun, I asked her an algebra question. What's 7x squared plus 2x squared? And then the 5-year correctly answered 9x squared. And she did an exponent rules to figure it out. So when the people say that we are either wire or not, it's not true. Math is a human language, so we have all ability to understand this. We need to take a language approach to math urgently because too many kids are locked and they are ancient about math, and it doesn't have to be that way. I work with an angry, frustrated high school student one who couldn't pass the algebra because she's only knew 44% of the multiplication task. I've told her such a keen of word only knowing the 44% of the alphabet, holding me back. She couldn't pass her public relation, and she had no confidence in that. As the result, this teenager had confidence in herself. I've told her we have to start with the multiplication, because once you know all of you have with your parts, everything gets easier and they will be having a pass back every happy ride in Disneyland. What do you think? And she said, okay. But she systematically learned the timetable in 4 weeks. And yes, even a multiplication has a language and better than that. You'll be surprised how many kids don't realize 7 times 3 can be spelled out as 7 times 3, which just means 3 7 times, just like that. So when kids see this way, they quickly realize that the repetition is low and inconvenience, so they gladly memorize that 3 7 times, while the width is 21. The further teenager would outreach to dropping out, becoming fluent and confident in multiplication with the gain charger. Because for the first time, we can focus on the problem solving instead of counting in finger. I knew she's at the corner and she's figured out that 2 years early at $445 a month would cost you $10,680. And she's looking at me disapprovingly and say, it's a poly sock, that's expensive. At that moment, not having water causing problem for her. But she looks giving a math solved problem as the reason to adopt. As an educator, it is my duty to challenge kids to be tired. Tirely you with this challenge. Our country is stuck at 26% subtraction, and I challenge you to pass the number higher. This is important because mathematical thinking not built the young mind, but our kids need it to imagine and develop their future. Meeting this challenge can be as simple as apple plus apple. Insist that we teach math the human language and we will get there sooner rather than later. Thank you. Okay guys, thank you for your watching. If you think this video is interesting, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys. Wassalamualaikum.